Welcome to the NPS channel, students. Today is the part 5. We are discussing about the mineral and power resources. From here we have to start, but before getting to the tidal energy part, we have to recapitulate our previous non-conventional resource. Like in our previous video, we have discussed so many non-conventional resources part. Like we have got nuclear power energy, then we have got solar energy, then we have got the limitations of all of these geothermal energy as well as the wind energy, and also we have seen that in which area they have been situated right now, and also we have seen wind energy's limitations. Now moving on to the tidal energy. What is tidal energy? The energy which is generated by capturing the energy contained in the tides is called tidal energy. The tides during high tide turn the turbine in dams which produces electricity. Canada and France have been able to produce tidal energy. In India, Gulf of Kutch is the site to produce this energy. This energy also have some limitations. Now before getting to know in this, we have to move on the image, how it's work basically. You can see it from that particular area. Also you can see, students, from that particular area, this is the tide divisions, right? You can see it from there. This is the tide divisions. We all knew that as per the rotational period wise of earth and moon, also neap tide, spring tide, high tide and low tides are happen, and from beyond of this there are one turbine spin, one electrical pole is also generated under the ocean surface, and it's have two electrical turbine spins. Whenever tide or tidal currents get hit, this turbine's area moves speedily and it's produce a static energy, and go through the above that area. Now right hand side you can see it there. This is the ocean channel and this is the basically tidal basin. So from that particular area, first step, we have seen that barrage or bridge is closed. So whenever they open barrage due to the high tide conditions or low tide conditions, you have seen that the propeller of this turbine is move fast and it's produce huge amount of static energy, and which is move up to there. I can show you another image, then you will find it out. Look, have a look this image. This image we have already seen in ocean surface area. If any persons goes around to the deep oceans, they have seen that particular channels or that particular things already been put in ocean, right? So now move on to the limitations of tidal energy. Advantage: inexhaustible energy resource, environment friendly energy resource. Yes, it's kind of less harm. Efficiency of tidal power is far greater as compared to the coal, solar or wind energy. Next is, although cost of construction of tidal power is high, but maintenance costs are relatively low from here. So now we have got one which is maintenance cost is kind of relatively low. Now again, the cost of construction in tidal power plant is high. If you see is that particular area, this is kind of, we can see from it here, maintenance cost of the power project and particularly ocean surface is kind of low. But if we move around the proper kind of plant area in ocean surface is getting quite high range. There are very few ideal location for construction tidal power plant, and they are too localized and coastal regions only. Influence aquatic life adversely. Yes, whenever we kind of thinking about to do plant regarding the power plant wise, like tidal energy wise, the marine life like fauna system and flora system equally affected by that, because in that time they kind of creating huge amount of hot steams, and it's kind of dissolves to the normal ocean's water and quickly get affected by the marine life. Okay, you can say it from that particular part. Whenever barrage gate is open and high tide and high tide condition, low tides is continuously moved to the turbine area, and whenever turbine moves fast and create and produce high amount of static energy, and static energy kind of created the generator, and it strictly goes up to the barrage through the pipeline area into the wireline area, strictly go to the above generator or above transmitter, and it produces the tidal energy. Okay, now move on to the biogas. This is kind of a urban waste, fast growing shrubs, animal dung, kitchen waste from the biomass, dead plants and animals, and waste like animal dung and kitchen waste can converted into biogas. This waste decomposed with bacteria in biogas digesters, which results in the emissions of biogas. This source of energy is good as domestic fuel, since it is excellent source of cheap power for small scale of uses. If we want to use as a small scale, then it is kind of a intellectual way to use, but if we want it as a huge way, then we have to put biogas plant. I will show you from that image, particular image, then these things will clear it out. You can see this from here. You can see this from here. Have a look, biogas plant, right? So basically anaerobic digesters means cow dungs, each and everything are kind of there. We can see that like this is kind of an input tank, biomass input tanks are there, and it's directly go to the downward, and biogas produces slurry output to the UGT line. Septic tanks are also, it go through from that side also, this side is also. Okay, and whenever we see that biogas produces carbon dioxide, this totally kind of separated carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, if it's used, okay, and it's produced, we can see that this is through the pipeline, above pipeline, it's totally go to the biogas generator, and whenever the biogas generator is produced huge amount of energy, it strictly go to the main pole line area, and it supplies also all over the local area. Okay, but we can use it as per, like if we need use as a proper a contemporary way, we can use it regular basis, but if we need in a proper way, then we have to make a biogas plant in our near side area. It's also have some limitations. If you go around, what is advantage and disadvantage? Like advantage is low maintenance cost, easy to operate, and make use of bio waste, because this is the first type of non-conventional resource which is kind of usable from the waste material. And disadvantage is results in greenhouse effects. Yes, it's kind of huge amount of emissions of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, as well as methane. Now move on to the conservation of energy resource. Like we all knew that whenever we go through the resource particular chapter, we also talk about the conservations of resource. Yes, we need to also conserve the energy resource, whatever it is non-conventional resource, but we have to know our limits to use it because it's produced by the nature, right? So here the sources of energy are limited in nature, so their efficient utilization is important. As we know, the resource take a long time, their formation, the rate at which they are being consumed is much faster than the rate of formation. If these resources are not properly managed, then there will be scarcity, and this resource which eventually lead to the non-availability one day or non-available one day in all around the world. So a planned utilization of resources important if we want to save them for our future generation. Means they are talking about the sustainable development concepts which we already in our previous chapter resources we have got. Like from here it can be achieved by the following measures. Which way? Achieving maximum benefits from power of existing energy plants, improving the quality of reliable power supplies. Next is increasing use of non-conventional sources of energy and avoiding power losses during the generator and transmitter, organizing awareness and drive so that people can use energy saving electrical appliances. Like we already need to start doing this because we have seen that in our home, like not right now I'm using any kind of appliances, but as plugs already are in there, it's also consume a amount of energy, then we have to plug it out. Okay, we have to think about that, and we have to think about that also. Like this way they are saying about that. Achieving maximum benefits from the power extracting energy plants. Okay, like we are using nowadays energy non-conventional resource, but this is kind of getting referred by this is a potential resource because all of this resources, non-conventional resources, we have been seen that this is kind of one is eco-friendly we have seen, but their maintenance charge is very low, but construction wise is kind of very high, and parts were not found in proper in India also. We have to kind of trade from this another country, we have to bring this out for our country for the use purpose. They're just transportation charges extra, so we have to thinking as a sustainably how to develop in that way. Improving the quality of reliable powers. What kinds of reliable powers we are using right now? We have to improving the quality. Now increasing the use of non-conventional source of energy. Like in our area also, basically nowadays we are totally dependent upon hydroelectrical energy, hydroelectric power nowadays, like DVC corporations, many things. Like from apart from this, we have to thinking about the increasing of use non-conventional source of energy because the basically seaside area which produce huge amount of tide as well as somehow produces huge amount of wind velocity. It can also produce windmill energy and it can also produce the tidal energy, but we have to kind of develop ourselves to use it. Now avoiding power losses during the generator and transmission. Like somehow it's happened whenever power kind of transmit one area to another area, one reactor to another reactor, kind of quickly or suddenly the generator stops or power cut. Okay, we have to stop these types of things. So getting aware, create awareness in many way, because in that moment huge amount of electrical appliances also get disturbed as well as huge amount of energy consumed which kind of not be produced in that much rate, and it will take a long period. That's why. And I've already said that organizing awareness driving so that people can energy saving electrical appliances. Yes, if we are not using right now any kind of electric appliances, then we have to plug it out, right? Not plug it in, plug it out, that particular thing. Now the last thing is the golden rule of resource conservation. Any resource, okay, which is dependent on 3R. I can see it from here. Like another way we can use, after talking about 3R, I will go from it. You can see it from here. Like we have seen from that particular side, like whenever we doing our trash thing, we have seen that particular sign in our trash board or kind of trash material area. This is kind of reuse purpose. This is the 3R of environment, or we can say the golden rule of resource conservation. What basically it is, it's basically depicts the we can save a lot of minerals and sources of energy by practicing there are 3Rs: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Recycling of metallic minerals is a way of conserving resource, as recycled minerals can be used again. Reducing the used minerals is another way of conserving them. Effort should be made in avoiding wastage in their mining and extraction. Technology should be used to even poor quality ores. Like for example, we have seen that whenever we just kind of throw our trash, there are two types of trash cans outside, like blue is and green is. The green one said that we have to reuse that particular material, so in that way we have to kind of diversify, or we have to separate maneuverable thing or disposable thing from the undisposable thing, right? So in that way we have to think which types of things or which types of element we can reuse or reduce or recycle, right? We have to follow the basic measures also. So from that particular agenda we have got many ideas. Like I want to share this idea with you from here. Have a look. This is the 3R. 3R, what does this represents? Like first is reduce waste as much as possible. We have to reduce our waste as much as possible. Then is recycle, resources to the greatest possible extent. We have to recycle it, like any kind of materials we are not kind of proper using right now, but it's have the potential to recycle or reuse, and after a year then we have to recycle it. We don't have to kind of throw it away. And this reuse products as many times as possible, we have to use it, okay? And then we have to go through the recycle procedures, okay? These three cycles are interconnected with each other. Okay, so in this sections we have got enough idea about the tidal energy, biogas gas and its limitations, conservations, why we need to conserve the energy resource for our future generation purposes, why we need agendas, or why we kind of creating awareness regarding use huge amount of non-conventional resources, and why reduce, reuse or recycle is important in golden rules of resource conservations. We have already seen from that particular area. I think today is up to that. Take care, see you soon, stay tuned with our channel and please subscribe it. Thank you.